Who doesn't love a good box build? Even non-woodworkers can appreciate the beauty of a simple box. And today I'm going to show you how I make mine using the JessEm box joint jig. Using this jig is an easy way to step your box game up and add some of the finer details that catches the eye. Before we jump right in, I would really appreciate it if you took a second to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Now let's get to the build. When you first get your jig, you do have to do some very minor assembly. You just got to snug up a couple bearings on the front and the back to take the side-to-side play out of it. And you've got to attach this to the base, which is done very easily by grabbing two pins. Just lift these up over the stop blocks and you're all set. Next, all you have to do for setup is decide what size box joint you want. For my boxes, I'm going to be using 1/2 inch, so I'm going to grab a 1/2 inch key and the matching 1/2 inch sacrificial board. And installing these pieces is as quick as installing 4 screws. Now on the other side, you've got these expandable blocks that are going to fit right into the T-track of your router table. Before covering my router, I'm going to install the proper bit. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch white side upcut spiral. And there's no need to use a throat plate here because the jig will cover the entire router surface. The jig still gives you access to your lift table using this hole. Loosening these 2 bolts will allow you to position the base forward or backwards so that your bit does not hit the jig itself. Then just using my eye, I'm going to try and center the router bit in the jig the best I can. I'll do a test cut and make some adjustments later if needed. I'll set my router bit ever so slightly taller than the stock board I'm going to use, and then I'll install the safety shield, leaving just a little extra room so that if something does ever catch, it's not going to break the shield. I'm going to be using a couple pieces of scrap wood to do some test cuts, and once I fit them together I'll make the necessary adjustments so that I get a perfect fit before moving on to my finished piece. Now these joints are too tight, but they're close. So when it's too tight, what it means is these pieces here are too thick. So you want to narrow up the space between the key and the bit. So I'm going to just tap it over just this tiniest bit and see if that works. There. That's what I would call perfect. Just a little bit of friction and enough room for glue. So what I'll do now is I'm going to take a marker. Just mark this next time. I can use this as a quick reference and make sure I'm at least in the ballpark when I get started. Alright, now on to the actual build. And here I'm going to cut down my side pieces to 3 inches tall. And it's just a personal preference of mine, but since I'm using a 1/2 inch bit, I like the height of the boxes to be either 3 inches, 3.5, 4, 4.5, just that way you get an even spacing of box joints, if that makes sense. And for this box, I'm going to be using what they call the golden ratio, which I highly suggest you Google that because they can explain it a lot better than I can. But basically it's just a number that you use to multiply the length by the width and then by the height to get a nice sized box. Now before I start cutting, I'm just going to kind of pick the pieces, the grain orientation that I like. And you'll see later on that this isn't that important because the way I'm going to make my boxes, the pieces are going to be interchangeable, meaning you can use them either this way or this way and they'll still fit fine. So it's still nice to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like before you're finished though. And I mark a T on the top of all the pieces here. This is going to help me keep track of what side I need against the key for each cut. I take my 2 long sides and place the T against the key and make my cuts. Then I flip it so the T is still against the key and make the cuts again. Now I'm going to take one of the finished long sides and put the T side facing in towards the router bit. I'll butt up one of the smaller pieces so that both sides marked with a T are touching and make my first cut. Once that's finished, I'll just move it out of the way and carry on with the cuts. For the opposite side, I'll flip my piece and make sure that both sides marked with a T are touching again, and repeat the process. If you're still watching at this point, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps a small channel like mine. And by using this method, you can see that I can choose what side of the board I want to use to be the outside. You might have also noticed that there's one tiny little sliver on one edge, and that's fine. That's so minimal that that'll sand right off. Now for the bottom of my box, I am just going to have a 1/4 inch piece for the bottom, and I'm going to set that in a 1/4 inch groove. Now with the box joints, one thing you don't want to do is take your groove all the way out to the end, or else you'll see that on the outside. This means that for 2 of the 4 sides, I can take my groove all the way through, and for the other 2, I'll have to use a plunge cut and make sure that my bit doesn't come out of either side. I'll put some glue on, then slide my panel in, and clamp everything together, making sure it's nice and square before I walk away and let it dry. Now what I like to do for my lids is cut it just slightly oversized, then I'll use some masking tape and some CA glue. This will hold it on nice and secure, and I'll use my flush trim bit to get all 4 sides perfect. Then I like to cut a rabbet around the outside edge of my lid, and I'll make that rabbet the same thickness as the outsides of the box. It just lets the lid sit down in there and find a home nice and easy. There are all kinds of reasons to make a box. Even if you don't have a need for a box, it's just fun to make a box. But for this particular one, I'm going to use it to store my coffee beans, so I'm going to use a shellac to seal the wood. To make sure the lid stays airtight, I'm going to add some spring clamps to the side and add a strip of cork around the top for a seal. I've always enjoyed making boxes, and I really love the look of the box joint ends. This jig makes it so easy, and once you get it set up, you can batch these out very quickly. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Till next time. Mark. Son of a... Yeah.